Hi, my name is Becky Lodge. I'm the founder of Startup Disruptors, a digital online community that helps people to start and scale businesses from home. Today, I'm with Lorraine of Campers of Distinction. She has some awesome VW camper vans for hire on the south coast of the UK. So Lorraine, welcome to you. Thanks very much for being with me. And we just wanted to talk a little bit today about your story, how you got started, what you do in your business, and obviously how you've managed to get Den the Dragon on top of your wine rack to actually stay there as well. That's something we'll talk about later. So tell us a little bit, Lorraine, about your business, your background, and how you started up.
Thank you, Becky. Good afternoon. It's absolutely fantastic to be here. I've been so excited. So yes, thank you for introducing me so well as well. Campers of Distinction was born in November 2018, and basically born because I'd pestered my lovely husband, Mr. Campers of Distinction, for 20 years for us to have one, and he kept saying no. And eventually, having driven one through New Zealand, which is our second home, we adore being there, he said if I liked it and didn't complain about the bumps and the maybe sleepless nights and noise, he would consider it. So we came back to the UK, and obviously I adored it, adored everything we did in a very old van that was nothing like the lovely ones we have. So we started considering, but he then put the caveat on that if we did it as a business. And Campers of Distinction was born. So we then searched for everything really that we couldn't find, if that makes sense, in a kind of reverse role, that I've got a specific need following an injury to my shoulder. I can't drive a manual geared car very easily at all. So we were looking for specifically an automatic gearbox. We wanted something reasonably new, and I think I was setting my bar quite high on, I want to be able to rent out something I would rent out. I want to be able to make it lovely, homely, and basically for our camper to be your camper when you hire it. So when you get in, you feel it's what you would want to do. So again, Mr. Campers of Distinction in the background, who does all of the squirreling work and none of the front-facing stuff, he went and sourced a couple of VW vans just to go and look at. We found ours in Leicester, of all places. So we travelled up there, and Mr. Blue Sky was just sat there shouting, buy me, buy me. He's a 2018, and for those VW fans amongst people, he's a T6 model with a good weight carry, and he was already converted with a Danbury conversion, who Danbury have been around for years and years, and have converted VWs for over 60 years. So we knew we were getting a high-end purchase that was only 6 months old and with only 21,000 miles when we bought him. So we brought him home, we made him all lovely and thought, right, now what do we do? Neither of us have any business acumen. We both come from a policing background. Jeff did 30 years, I managed 23 with my injury, taking me a little earlier. Well, what do we do? I started stalking a variety of business networks, one of those strangely being Startup Disruptors. And I started looking at the social media opportunities for how do we now network and manage the media element of actually getting this out there for hire. What do? We need a logo, we need branding, and actually I started buying lots of squidgy things, nice things, tactile things, rugs, cushions for the van, and then realised I needed to actually look at the sensible things, having read a lot more in between purchase and launch. So we launched Campers of Distinction properly in January 2019. 2020, where are we?
2019, you launched. It's all right. I don't know what year it is.
No, we didn't. It was last year. So we bought it in November 19. You don't want me to do all of that again, do you?
No, it's fine. Carry on. Just stop recording.
Thank you. So yes, we launched in January last year. We found two very good profile platforms, a bit like Airbnb, but for camper vans. So we used that. We got bookings really, really quickly, which we were really, really pleased about. And then this bug came and hit everybody. We'd just come back from, fortunately, a very lovely holiday in Mexico. Our van was booked up, ready to go, the VW lovingly ready. and then nothing, everything closed. Come June, come unlocking, the queries came rolling back in. Mr. Blue Sky was booked out last year from June through until the end of October. And actually we couldn't let him out after that because of the restrictions that were changing around the country, Wales, etc. However, what it did show to us was that while we called ourselves campers with plural of distinction, it did show us we needed a second van. So we were already planning at that point, regardless of COVID, do we move forward and buy a second van into February 21? We were thinking this back in November, whilst driving past a very lovely camper van place that sells them not far from here in Wickham in Hampshire. And this T2, a 1970 bay window, proper retro vintage, everything you want from, you know, the whole surfing USA style, jumped off the forecourt literally at me. So I phoned him indoors very quickly and said, you need to meet me. You need to come down here and look at this. And there she was. There was a second van jumping into our arms, who we've lovingly called Dora. She was already beautifully restored externally. We've been very lucky. She also had a new engine put in prior to our purchase. And we just wanted to tidy her up a little bit inside. So she's had some refurbishment done since November when we bought her, getting her ready. Our launch has been postponed again because of COVID, but understandably, neither of our vans have self-containment, so there's no toilet or shower on board. They are your proper VW campers. So ideally, you want to be looking to go to a campsite that's got those facilities for you. And because of COVID, obviously, some of those campsites haven't been available. So as yet, both of our beautiful VW buses are sat, fortunately, in a car park next to where we live, waiting, just waiting to pounce really out there. And Mr. Blue Sky's hired, apart from 2 weeks through until November. So we are already booked up with him. Dora, however, we want to use her in a different way. And we're still slightly working on that. Now we've got her home, it's only been this week. But we know we want her to be used for photo shoots, for engagements maybe, for weddings, for parties, for dads to drive their daughter to, if we ever get back round to having ceremonies again, that would be amazing. And cream teas for going out with your mum, everything you've missed doing in the last 12 months, I think Dora will provide that opportunity for. But she really does take you back to basics, slows you down and makes you actually realise what life's about and look around you and enjoy what you're doing. I think that's kind of where we're at, really.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I mean, obviously we're aware that VWs in the UK and worldwide have a massive global following. And I think that certainly you're positioned right in terms of timings, although perhaps during COVID it hasn't felt that way. So I think because of the staycation boom that there is going to be, with flight prices potentially returning back to the pricing of the 1970s and 80s, which is what the aviation industry research was saying yesterday, I think that you're primed, you know, for a bit of a boom. So I'd ask you the question now, because we've sort of come to the end of this slot that we're doing together. If people want to hire your vehicles, obviously either Mr. Blue Sky, which is the automatic slightly newer version, for those that are a little bit averse to a little bit of hardship in your second van, Dora the Explorer, as we fondly call her in Startup Disruptors. If people want to hire your vans, Lorraine, how do they actually come to know more about those and get your pricing and your details? What's the best website for them to visit?
Thanks. Yes, Becky, it's so www.campersofdistinction, bit of a mouthful, but all in one string, .co.uk. We are on Facebook, Campers of Distinction, and there is a link to our website on there as well. There's also our phone number. I've got our own separate business line for that, and we're more than happy to chat through. We'll invite people down if they want to come and have a look to see if it is what they want. And there's plenty of photos, certainly across Facebook, of previous hirers where they've made the vehicle their own as well. So across those two platforms are the main ones, or give us a call and come on down and have a look at them.
Yeah, and we also have some photos on our social media feeds of Dan the Dragon, who's the mascot for Startup Disruptors, that you can see at the back. We mentioned that he was on the wine rack today, probably on the wine again, to be honest, if I know him. Not saying anything about Lorraine at all there. So don't know what you mean, but it's been so great to talk to you today, Lorraine, and thanks for incorporating Dan in your background there as well. And we're so looking forward to a time when we're going to be able to go out and about with you on a drive, and also get some social media footage of you as well, hopefully onto our own feeds as well. So thank you for being so generous with your time today. And in the meantime, if you want to know more, Campers of Distinction is the place to be if you want to actually hire some VW campers to take across the South Coast or the UK. Lorraine, been an absolute pleasure as always. Take care, my friend, and stay safe. And have a great rest of the week. Bye for now.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks ever so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.